Welcome back. Right now, it is my great pleasure to bring on one of my most incredible graduates. And they're all great, but this one here is just like over the top. I don't know anyone who can work like 18 jobs at the same time like this man can. He's really incredible. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matthew Mungle. My goodness, are you a workhorse or what?
Try.
How many shows are you working on right now?
5.
5 shows. What are they? Can you remember?
I don't know. Can't remember. CSI, Las Vegas.
Yes.
NCIS. We do a few things on House, not at the moment, but
Yes.
a new show called 11th Hour, which actually follows CSI.
Yes.
On Thursdays.
Yes.
And starting on a new season of Tracy Ullman,
Oh,
State
my
of the
God.
Union. So,
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
terrific.
Thanks.
And congratulations to you and your team for these wonderful ladies here.
Yes.
I believe you are the first makeup artist, I think, in the history of the Television Academy to win 2 Emmys at the same Emmy presentation. Is that correct?
I think so.
I think so. I think so. So, if it, yes. Matthew, I mean, you've been doing so. You got the Academy Award with Great Canon for Bram Stoker's Dracula. You've been doing so many things. What's your favorite? If you were to pinpoint one job that you've done? Now I know you're going to say I love them all. But come on, there's got to be one that you just absolutely loved more than the others.
Well, I think it was Bedazzled.
Really?
Yeah, with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Because he was so great to work with, and we turned him into so many characters.
Lots of
and
characters.
He was really a great guy.
Right,
too,
right.
You know.
Do you have tape of the work that you did on Bedazzled?
No, I didn't. I don't think I set up the camera for that.
No.
No.
Yeah, he's been so great. Matthew has been so great. He's been sending us, and I know that you're going to want to see these, and if you haven't seen them, go into our past weeks. Matthew has been so kind to be sending us actual videotapes of the work that he did as he was actually doing it. And they're sensational. We've gotten so many people sending us emails thanking us for showing these tapes. It's an inspiration to makeup artists all over the world. And it's an inspiration to makeup students, in all of the schools, not just my school, but in all the schools, to see this.
I think it's really important to share your knowledge.
Absolutely.
If you're really passionate about it, and that's what I really enjoy doing.
Yeah. When did you first know you wanted to be a makeup artist?
I was about 10 years old, I think.
10. Yeah. Was there any one particular makeup that kind of just clicked that light bulb in your head?
I think it was probably 7 Faces of Dr. Lau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Tuttle.
I was just amazed at how Tony Randall became those characters.
Right.
And then there was the list of Adrian Messenger, which was incredible.
Yes. Johnny Chambers.
All those wonderful
Bud Westmore.
makeups.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Planet of the Apes came out in 1968, and I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was hooked.
The fat suit you did on House. Was it on House?
On House, yeah.
Tell us about that. That was remarkable.
That was interesting.
You were nominated. Weren't you nominated?
No,
for that?
no,
You weren't. You should have been.
I wasn't on the ticket for that, but it was interesting. I mean, as television goes, it happens so fast. They call up, say we got a 600-pound man we need you to do.
Right.
We're gonna cast an actor and who I actually worked with on Natural Born Killers, which it was great. So we knew each other.
Yes.
And so I got pictures of him. I started designing that, and this all comes down in about less than 2 weeks that we have to get this done because television is so fast.
Yeah.
Every 8 days is a new
Don't you
episode.
love it?
Yeah, I do. It's constant.
It really-
I don't think I would be happy if I just had to work on one job.
No.
It's so much. It's so fascinating just to work all of these things.
Well, you've gotten so accustomed. He's gotten so accustomed to working all these jobs all at the same time. You have a remarkable crew.
Yeah, incredible.
You have a beautiful
Incredible.
lab.
I couldn't have done my
Very,
job.
very capable people that that follow direction very well.
Oh.
And so that's half the game there.
That's
if you have a
it.
good
It is.
crew,
It is.
So now, television. Now, to me, television is my favorite medium.
Yeah.
I love it because it's fast,
Right.
And you have to perform very quickly.
Right,
It's like a combination of a film and live stage. All the shows that you've done, and then obviously you're always asked to work very, very quickly.
Sure.
Are there any films that have also required, that you create a prosthetic appliance very, very fast, or to design something as quickly as you do for television?
I think recently they're all getting that way, and the budgets are going down lower, and the actors are taking more, and the crews are getting less. There are more producers, and they ask you to do work faster.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like the 10 years ago it was.
Yes.
Because it's just the turnover is faster and
Yes.
faster. And I think it's constantly like that.
Yes.
I'm getting ready to do an old age on an actor, and they called up 2 weeks ago and said, "Oh, we're going to do this, but we don't have the green light." And I just got the green light the other day.
Right.
And now we only have about a week and a half to do it. And it's like, well, we can't do a sculpting, so we have to pull all stock pieces and do it, which I really enjoy doing.
Right.
Like trying to make
Mr.
it
Potato
work,
Head.
make it work,
Right.
with it. Yeah,
That's the challenge.
And I think television, going back to that subject, recently has been, maybe the past 10 years, has brought the film industry into television, because television's got to keep up with cable, all of the media, all the other mediums, and try to pull the audience in that would normally go out and see a movie.
Right.
So I think they're getting more sophisticated with everything they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you
with CG, with more makeup effects.
Are you finding that they're working, that you're able to work more quickly and perhaps less meticulously because they can come in afterwards and they can clean up your edges? Or
I never liked to
Are
do
you
that.
still a perfectionist?
Still a perfectionist on it, to a point, because you've got to get that actor out, you've got to get that makeup out, you've got to get that body out.
But doesn't it drive you crazy? It would drive me crazy to do, because we come from a world. We come from a world where the makeup has to look terrific. It has to be done. You can't see the edges. It's got to be flawless. It used to have to be absolutely flawless. Nowadays, in some instances, they'll say, just put it on, don't worry about it, we'll fix it in post. That would drive me crazy. I couldn't take it out on stage.
I know, but you bring out that fat makeup on House. I heard they had to do up to around 300 touch-ups on it.
Really?
Because the makeup was done so fast,
Quickly,
and it was just so big and broad, that there were certain things that the arm would slip out, and they'd have to go in and touch it up. I mean, things happen.
Yeah.
And they know that these days.
Right.
That, and CSI is such a great show to work on, because it's a well-oiled machine. Everybody's just knows what pressure everybody else is under.
Right.
And it's always this give and take. I'll get a call early about an upcoming episode. We've got a big makeup to do and stuff like that, so we can kind of get working, but we don't have the actor until the last minute. So it doesn't matter. No.
You've had such success, and it hasn't gone to your head. You are still today very down to earth, very sweet, very kind, a real gentleman. And sometimes that isn't the case with people who win so many awards as you have.
Well, it's not, my theory is it's not in the moment. It's my theory is looking ahead.
Right.
And, you burn a bridge, it's going to come back to kick you, and bite you.
Right. Are you award driven?
No. Not at all. I never got in this business to saying that, I'm going to win the Academy Award. That was never, never my choice. My choice was because I have a passion for makeup. Right. Whatever it is, I have a passion for makeup. Coming up with new ways of doing things faster, construction, going back to construction makeup, you don't have to sculpt a piece just for that, I'll pull a piece over here, and I can, with third degree, all the silicones and stuff these days, it's just so great to just throw it together and make it work,
You're finding that see, that's why I still teach construction makeup. Yes, it's a historic
Yeah.
old-fashioned
Right.
way, but it's still part of the program because it's an exercise that I feel really, in a pinch, comes in handy.
I think it's more important today than it was a few years ago because now they work so fast.
Faster, right?
They're so fast, and you got to think on your feet there. You know, you have an actor, a director that asks you to do something. You go, wait just a minute. You go around the corner and you say, God, how am I going to do that? Come back there. Oh, got it for you. You know.
Right.
You know, just give me 2 seconds. Just think about that.
What's the secret to being a good department head? I mean, what is, if you were to single it down to one area, what would that be?
I think try to utilize and work with all the departments. You know, be very conscientious about what you're doing around with them. You know, never single. Oh, our department's the only one that matters. You know, no, it's all of these departments that have to come together.
Right,
you know,
absolutely.
and being as nice as you possibly can to people.
Right.
Never saying no. You know, I still have the costumers on CSI coming up to me and said, "We love you because you never say no. It's always, you know, and you're always filling us in. But the producers never fill us in the stuff. And we got an episode coming up, and now we're going to do this, you know.
Right.
And you know, it's working together with people.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and always they're as professional as you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
In the past, the hairdressers were subordinate to the makeup artists, but it isn't that way anymore.
No, it's not that way anymore.
And-
And also, a lot of makeup effects people these days think that their department is completely separate
Yes.
from the makeup department
Yes.
and stand alone. It's like,
No.
not the way it is.
No.
When I first get a job in makeup effects on a film, I'll ask the producer, "Who's your department head?" And I'll hang up the phone and I'll call that department head. By the way, I've been hired by the producer and the director to work with you on this film, and we're working with this together. You know,
Right.
and ingratiate them
Right.
to a collaborative
Right.
effort.
You make them feel
You know?
comfortable. You let them know that you're a nice
and
guy.
vice versa.
Right.
You know, it's very, very important to do that. You alienate people at the very beginning, your life is going to be miserable. And the television, the film industry is so difficult anyway. Why make it even worse?
Yes.
You know.
To what degree do you participate in production meetings with the cinematographer and or the lighting designers?
All the time. Every meeting we go to, like for CSI, we'll have our preliminary makeup meeting
Yes.
and visual effects meeting kind of combined.
Do you
so
find-
we all talk to each other. Yeah.
Do you find that they're allowing you now, more so now, that you've become more known and famous and have, gotten these wonderful awards, that they're listening to you more and permitting you
Absolutely.
to direct them, perhaps?
Absolutely.
With the
Absolutely.
placement of the lights or the camera placement for specific
Yeah.
makeups, that are prosthetic makeups or aging makeups that need to be lit a certain way?
No, absolutely. I think everybody goes on the internet these days and looks up your resume before they start working with you, or
Right,
and they hear about you, and it's a collaborative effort there.
Right.
And they, I think I really came into it also when I turned 50. My partner.
You
John
turned
Jackson-
50? You're 50?
Yeah, I'll be 52
Well, I'm doing
this
something
year.
wrong.
I'll be 52 this year. So.
You look like you're in your very early 40s or late 30s.
But my partner,
Who
John
made you
Jackson,
up?
said, well, exactly.
I want that
It's
makeup
just
artist.
anti-shame. He said, and he's a year older than I am. He said, when you turn 50, there's that point when you wake up that morning and it's like, I've come to this point right now and I deserve this,
Right.
So you get a little bit more kahunas,
Right.
I think, and other people bloom faster than other people,
Yes.
and I think that was my turning point, and I have more voice
Yes.
with things,
Yes.
and say, well, it could be done this way, but not again isolating people and saying
Yes.
we're going to do it this way. How can we work this out?
How do you feel when
How
they
can-
call your name to win? Yeah.
An honor. It's an absolute honor. It's a privilege, to be voted by your peers. I mean, that's the best part of
Right.
it,
We're going to talk more about this in just 1 minute. Don't go away.